All right, today we are diving into a really powerful book by McKeown called Essentialism, and it's all built on this simple but kind of revolutionary idea. The best way to get more done is actually to do less. Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're just busy but not productive? You feel totally stretched thin, overworked, but also somehow underutilized? It's like you're running on a hamster wheel, always in motion but never really getting anywhere that matters. If that hits home, well, you've just hit on the exact problem Essentialism is here to solve. So, McKeown gives us this great visual. Think of it like this. The non-essentialist, that's the person who's scattering their energy everywhere. They're making a tiny bit of progress, like a millimeter, in a million different directions. But then you have the essentialist. They take that exact same amount of energy, but they channel it, they focus it on just a handful of things that truly matter. And the result? Bam! They make huge, meaningful progress where it really counts. So the big question is, right? How do we get from that scattered, chaotic state to a focused one? Well, we have to learn to follow the way of the essentialist. It's a path that isn't about doing more. It's about doing better. And this idea, it's not totally new. It was perfectly captured by Dieter Rams, the legendary designer for Braun. His whole philosophy was boiled down to just 3 German words, weniger aber besser. It just means less but better. He basically believed that almost everything in life is just noise, and his job was to cut through all that noise to find the pure, simple essence of a thing. That simple idea was the foundation for all of his game-changing design.
And this is so important to get. Essentialism is not just another time management trick or productivity hack. It's a whole disciplined, systematic way of looking at your life. It's about hitting the pause button again and again and asking yourself, wait, am I putting my energy into the right things? It's really the art of figuring out what are the few things that are vital versus the many things that are just trivial. And then, and this is the magic part, making it almost effortless to do what's most important.
Okay, so where does this journey begin? Well, it's not with your to-do list. It actually starts with your mindset. It all kicks off the moment you realize just how much power you have over your own choices.
And look, the difference in core beliefs here, it's everything. A non-essentialist is kind of stuck in this mindset of I have to do this, or it's all important. They buy into the myth that they can do it all. But the essentialists, they flip the script. They replace those ideas with these liberating truths. Instead of I have to, it's I choose to. They realize, hey, only a few things really matter. And they get this crucial trade-off. I can do anything, but I can't do everything.
Because that really is the fundamental choice, isn't it? If we don't deliberately make our own choices, someone else will. Our boss, our family, our clients, they will happily fill our time for us. There's this story of a nurse who worked with people at the end of their lives, and she said the single most common regret she heard was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And really, that's what essentialism is all about. It's about finding that courage.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Let's get practical. Let's talk about one of the most powerful tools in the Essentialist toolkit for filtering all your decisions.
It's called the 90% rule. And trust me, it's so simple, but it is brutally effective. Here's how it works. So an opportunity comes your way, right? A new project at work, an invitation to a party, whatever. First, you figure out the single most important thing you're looking for. Then you score that opportunity on a scale of 0 to 100 based on that one criterion. Now here's the kicker. If it's anything less than a 90, you automatically change the score to 0, and you reject it. Gone. This is what saves you from the trap of the good enough. It stops you from committing to things that are just kinda good.
I mean, this just perfectly sums up the whole mindset, doesn't it? It completely kills indecision. You're not looking for a bunch of good things to do. You're looking for the absolute best thing, your highest point of contribution. So the rule is simple. If it's not a clear, resounding yes, then it has to be a clear, simple no. Of course, deciding to say no is one thing. Actually saying it, that's the other half of the battle. And let's be honest, it can be the hardest part for a lot of us. But the good news is, it's a skill, and you can learn it.
And McKeown gives us a whole menu of options for saying no gracefully, so you don't have to feel like a jerk.
You can try the awkward pause. Just wait, it works. Or a soft no, but. You can buy yourself time. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. You can even set up email bounce backs. But my personal favorite, especially at work, is this one. Yes, what should I deprioritize? See what that does? It immediately makes it about a trade-off, which is pure essentialist thinking.
And here's the thing. People actually respect clarity. A wishy-washy maybe that just strings someone along, that's actually way more disrespectful than a polite but firm no. When you can say no with respect, you're not just protecting your own time and energy, you're actually earning the respect of the people around you.
So, what's the big payoff here? After all this hard, disciplined work of saying no and making tough choices, what's the reward? Well, it's not just a neater calendar. It's something much, much bigger. It's a completely different and fundamentally better way to live.
Just look at the difference. The life of a non-essentialist feels completely out of control. It's overwhelming, it's exhausting, and at the end of the day, you're not even sure you did anything that mattered. But the essentialist, they feel in control. They get the deep satisfaction of knowing, yep, I got the right things done today. And because they're not just reacting all the time, they can actually find joy in the process, in the journey itself, instead of just hoping for some happiness at the finish line.
And that brings us to this powerful final thought. It's a question from the poet Mary Oliver, and it gets right to the soul of essentialism. She asks, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Wow. That question, it just forces you to think about the ultimate trade-off, which is our time. It's limited, it's precious. And it reminds us that being an essentialist isn't about making a few small tweaks here and there. It's about having the courage to consciously design a life that when all is said and done, you can look back on and know that it truly mattered.